Check out in 9 and patient 4. I'm a firm believer that healthcare is a right and should be provided.
Healthcare is a fundamental human right, and I think that this is a place that walks the walk on that issue.
I first knew I wanted to be a doctor when I was about 3 years old, and I was going to be a pediatrician and a ballerina, I told my mother. The ballet part didn't work out so well. So it was from a very young age that I felt like I wanted to be a doctor, and the reasons why kind of changed and solidified over time.
Wanted to work at a place that had a social justice mission to the healthcare it provides, and yes, specifically to be able to be at a place where we see every patient regardless of ability to pay.
I fell in love with the clinic, with the mission, with the history of the clinic, starting with the Panthers and continuing to serve a very large African American community and a large Latino community. And this is the type of clinic that I wanted to continue working in.
I like to think of us as a force of really great social good in both the Seattle community and throughout the Western Washington. A lot of our HIV and transgender patients come from very far away to seek our services in a supportive and non-judgmental environment.
Country Doctor provides a place, a medical home for a lot of our patients, in the technical sense of being a medical home, and also in the sense of it being a trusted place for people to come.
The idea of seeing multiple subspecialists from each different condition isn't realistic for many people. And so what we try to do here is provide as much care as we can, face-to-face, one-on-one, with one person really trying to be the comprehensive source of primary care throughout the entire lifespan.
I can deliver your baby, I can see that baby through their childhood, adolescence. I can see you for your gynecologic care, I can see your husband, I can see your parents, I can talk about end-of-life issues. I see a lot of patients who are undocumented and do not have access to the plans through the ACA. We're increasing your Lantus and we're bringing down your meal times.
And the metformin is working.
I still do the fine balance of, okay, we can get these labs under this heading for you today. We can't get this today. How much money do you have? How can we get this covered? Is it okay if I order? And it hurts. It hurts when you have to do that and you see, you know, the gaps in care that happen when a patient's like, oh, I would have come in for my medicine, but I completely couldn't afford that, so I waited until next year. Now I'm seeing you, and now, for example, your diabetes is out of control.
You get all this knowledge and you think you can make a big difference, and then you realize what the scale of the need is, and you wonder how you can change anything.
The visits are sometimes very fast. That's very challenging for me, especially when I have a patient who comes in and, great, I haven't seen you for months. Let me tell you everything that's been going on with my mental health. That's a visit that needs more than that 15-minute slot, and then there are 2 other patients waiting and you feel the pull.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good.
Just because you're only one person and just because there's only a small group of people that you're working with on any given day, it doesn't mean that those changes you're making and those effects you're having are insignificant. The fact that you experience them in a one-to-one relationship is probably the most significant way to experience them at all.
I went into family medicine knowing that the connections that you have with your patients are so important, and knowing that we had this space to interact with our patients and advocate for our patients that I didn't see in too many other specialties.
I think the relationship is the foundation of medicine. It's such a key factor of what makes for a good primary care relationship, to know the patient, have the patient know the provider. And once I'm on to my 3rd or 4th visit with a given patient, so much has already been understood, and we can really get a lot deeper into figuring out what the essential issues are to make a difference in their healthcare. The relationship is probably more important over time than the details of the book learning from medical school. I think the mission is very simple and straightforward, which is to take care of everybody in Seattle who needs our services, provide healthcare as part of a social justice or human rights issue for the patients in our community.
I do feel like I'm making a difference. Hola. Every time I walk in and someone's face brightens up because they see an African American doctor, or, oh, you speak Spanish. I'm so happy to have a physician who speaks Spanish. And I know this is where I want to be, certainly in this early part of my career and beyond.
In our healthcare system, there are a lot of haves and a lot of have-nots, and this is one of the places trying hard to restore the balance.
definitely important to support this institution. Healthcare and good health is at the backbone of our well-being as people. And I believe that community health centers like Country Doctor, and especially our specific community health center, is an integral part of the well-being of our community. And so I definitely would call on you to continue to support us for what we're able to provide and what I hope that we'll be able to provide in the future.
It is always about, first and foremost, how do we provide the best services to our patients? And when things come into conflict with that, everyone here is on the same page about trying to prioritize the patients. And that is the most gratifying thing about working here. I am so grateful for the support from the community that makes that mission possible.